This is incredible. Bungie has actually saved Trials of Osiris, at least for now. We're going to talk about Bungie's massive rework of this playlist. I have gotten a chance to play and get 7 wins on both cards, and I highly recommend that you pick the Lighthouse Passage card, because for whatever reason, the other card, if you get 7 wins, you don't get to go to the Lighthouse. So make sure you get this one. This is the card to get. There's 2 options. The first one sucks. This one's excellent. And along the way, I lost several times, but eventually I made it to Lighthouse. You don't have to win 7 in a row anymore with a mercy or anything like that. You just have to win 7. So theoretically, if you won 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1, and kept going, 13 matches later, you'd be at the Lighthouse. Or if you won 2 and lost 10, and then won 5, you'd be at the Lighthouse. You just have to win those 7 games. That progresses you along the way, no matter what. Losses don't take away anything from you. And if you go in solo and match against a team of 3, there's no penalty at all for that, apparently. So, which doesn't mess up your weekly win streak rewards, which is where you're at right now. So that's the incentive to winning more still. Obviously, you do need to win. You don't want to go in an AFK. I've heard a bunch of people are doing that, which is actually just hilarious and sad, because that doesn't help you. You want to go in, you want to win, and you want to get as big a win streak as you can. I got a 5 win streak going in completely solo on my second passage. On the first one, I got only a 2 win streak. So now we're going to test and see what kind of loot we get when we got our non-flawless Lighthouse now. Let's see what we get from the chest here. Hopefully we get some good stuff. That's going to be the last key element to Bungie truly... Oh my god! Holy crap, a lot of stuff just came out of the fucking Lighthouse. Jeez. Okay, well, there it is. I get an adept weapon. Nice, it's got double perks on it. The right column. This is really nice. What the hell? The server provided new data. Please try again. Look. Oh, that was crazy. I've never seen that bug before. Anyways, we got this. This is actually a really nice roll of this weapon. And I also got the Exalted Truth. I got Tomorrow's Answer. We got a bunch of new weapons. And we got some of those Assyrian ciphers, which is really nice. We're going to go back to the Saint 14 vendor in the tower now, and we're going to demonstrate what you get with that. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of weapons just sitting here as well. Let's delete some of these. Let's see what else we got in here. Good. Grabbing this. Nice. Jeez, I got like 5 weapons from going to Lighthouse. One of them an adept. Alright. So it's definitely worth it to invest your time if you want any of these weapons. So that's the last key piece to it, like we talked about, is that Bungie needs to make sure that the loot you get is really, really good. Right now we have the Exalted Truth that's reprised, and unfortunately in PvE at least, the Palindrome, which is coming back this episode as well, kind of outclasses it. But in PvP, the Exalted Truth is definitely a really good option. It has some really good PvP perks overall. Did I get 2 adepts? Wait a damn minute. I got 2 adepts from going to the Lighthouse on a card with a bunch of losses? God damn, that's actually kind of crazy. And I got a bunch of pinnacles along the way as well. So, pretty crazy stuff. And now I can go back here. I can take my Osirian ciphers and I can focus them and get a 3rd adept. So truly, if you want some adept weapons, if you never made it to the Lighthouse before and you're like, man, I really want that for the loot or for the experience or for like the triumphs or whatever you're looking for, right? Now is definitely the time to jump in and play some trials. And like I said before, make sure you pick up the right passage. We'll talk about the passages here. You've got the one on the left, which it gave me pinnacles when I got wins, but I don't, other than that, I didn't really see too much of a reason for it. I'll have to, find out what the incentive is to play this over this one. But this is the one to go to. This is how you get to Lighthouse. This is where it's at. It may have been easier matches in this one or something. It might be like a warm-up type card thing. So now we go over to the second page here. We got focus decoding, and we can actually turn in 10 Osirian ciphers there and a Trials Engram, and we can get one of these weapons to drop for us, which is pretty cool. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and grab one of these. Okay, we got our 3rd adept from 1 passage. That's pretty nice. 3 adepts from going to the Lighthouse 1 time with a bunch of losses. Trials is back for sure. And just as a side note, what was my experience like? Did I match a bunch of cheaters? No cheaters were matched. I mostly played all solos, and I obviously went in as a solo. And on top of that, I actually had a lot of fun playing. I think that the sandbox in the meta is in a pretty good spot. So Trials is definitely back. And I know some people will be mentioning, what about carries and stuff like that? really you don't need to get carried anymore. Now that you just play the game and you get the wins and you eventually make it to the lighthouse, just play and have fun. Play solo if you don't want to deal with the stress of teammates, or if you really wanted to. Obviously you got Fireteam Finder if you want to match with people, but honestly, playing solo, it was chill. I had a good time. The meta was cool. No cheaters at this point in time. Obviously, as the population dips later on in the episode, it's going to be bad for that. But at this point in time, it was a pretty chill, a good experience. I actually have to rate Trials with this right now at like a 9 out of 10. The only reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 is because the loot isn't like just absolutely outrageous and like very desirable. But that's an issue with Destiny overall right now. There's a lot of new weapons being brought in that they're not that much better than the stuff we currently have, so it's not like really worth your time investment to grind for some of these. But for a lot of you out there, these weapons are going to be a big improvement to your overall arsenal and to your vault and to things that you're doing in the game. And obviously some of them are really good for PvP if you just like to jump into PvP from time to time. So that's my overall opinion about the Trials rework. Bungie did pull off a massive W. Not having to stress about winning the whole time just makes the overall chillness of Trials so much better. Like, you're kind of in there, and I got matched with some really potato teammates, and I know you know what that feels like, and you might be the potato yourself, but either way, you know what it feels like to just get ran over 5-0 and you're like, man, this is lame. Well, now it's not as bad, because now you get ran over and you're like, fine, just get on to the next match. At least the match is over with quickly, right? If you get 5-0, the match is over with in like 3 minutes. Then you can get on to the next one and eventually get to the lighthouse. Everyone can get to the lighthouse now. The lighthouse is not gate kept by anything. It's just going to be a matter of time investment. How much time are you going to put into it? And eventually you're going to get there. You got a whole 4 days of any given week. You got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You know, I think if you played 10 games each day, you would for sure make it to lighthouse, because all you got to do is win 7 out of those 40 games. And most people out there, even if you're bad, eventually they could put a good teammate on your team and you'll win those games. So it was honestly a really fun time. I enjoyed the meta. My build is absolutely busted. If you want to use a build that's just disgusting right now, Storm's Keep Arctitan is just ridiculous. You put your half wall down and you hide behind it and you just shoot enemies and it just rains down lightning on them. So broken. So if you want to have a fun build, use that. Sidetans is really good with it, but I just put on Dune Marchers because I like to run and punch things. So have fun jumping out there in Trials. Best of luck to you grinding for any god rolls. And honestly, as much as I'm surprised to say it, was a massive W from Bungie. I was expected to think that Trials was dead and you know, not gonna work. None of this was gonna work, but it actually worked really well. And kudos to Bungie for actually pulling this together in a way that I think is pretty cool. So let me know what you think though down in the comment section below. And as always, make sure to subscribe, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.